Eh. Hello and welcome. This is It's Always About Love, and I'm life coach Lee Evans. I'm here with psychotherapist Lisa Logan. Lisa has been in private practice for many years, and today she brings all of that experience and wisdom to help you. We are here to answer your relationship questions. It's our desire to help you and make what you learn from this podcast usable in your life right now. Do you have a situation, concern, something you want to share? Send an email to it's always about love, the number 1 at gmail.com. And don't forget the comments. That's to it's always about love, the number 1 at gmail.com. Now let's get started and see if Lisa's there. Are you there, Lisa?
I'm here. You
Good.
know that I'm here. Hi, Lee. How are you, honey?
I'm good.
Are you?
Yes.
Are you really? Why are you good? I love to know.
You love to know I made chili, and it was called
I'm good.
Southwestern chili, and it was very good.
And who said it was good?
I said it was good.
Oh, did you take it to your family?
Yes, I did. They didn't get a chance to say it was good, but when I took it over there, it was piping hot. I mean hot.
Boy,
Yeah.
I'd love to try your chili. I would love to try your chili. I love good chili. Good. Okay, listen. I'm going to read our introduction, but I have a question for all of you who are listening. If we turn off, we're on Zencast for this podcast. If we stop doing it, because we're paying to be here right now, and this month we've already used half of our minutes, so we have to almost all of our minutes, so we have to pay again in order to finish out the month. So we're wanting to know, would you write us a note and tell Lee if can you watch us all over the world, because we don't want to miss any of you. And if it turns out that we will lose you, we'll keep on paying. Both of us are poor people, but we will pay to have you here because we love you. But can you get us for free on YouTube? And what you do there, we'll make it the very same address. We'll just put it on YouTube. So would you drop us a note, each one of you, and tell us? And what Lee said our address is, it's always about love 1 at gmail.com. Just drop us a note, and then we'll know whether we can stop doing the podcast and instead do YouTube, and you'll see us on the thing. But we'll still be doing this program. We'll be still doing 2 programs on YouTube. One will be It's Always About Love, and the other one will be for Forsaken Parents. So here's my introduction that I wrote that I would like to tell you. Read to you. I'm being corny, you guys. That isn't the way I talk. Our firmest advice to all men and women who are thinking of leaving your marriage because of your feelings for somebody else, we want you to consider this. What you actually need to do is to work out your issues with your children's father or mother, to learn what love is, and then to learn to love him or her one more time. This is why, and it has to do with those you love more than anyone in the world, and that is your children. If you will stop what you're doing and focus instead on what love is, how you once felt about the man or woman you are now considering leaving for another, then you won't ever regret it because there is something else at stake that matters more to you than anything else ever can. No future significant other, nobody who's in your future will care as much about your beautiful, well-loved children as you and their father or their mother do. And yes, you do deserve to be happy. You do. You deserve to have a life, but Lee and I can assure you that several years from now, your children will be more important to you than this current relationship is that you're getting yourself into. And a life with children who have withdrawn from you will be more painful than you can ever imagine. Lee and I know that to be true. Not because we we dumped our spouses for somebody else, but because we've both been estranged parents, and we know how painful it is. Most painful thing we've ever been through. Right, Lee?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So, uh, more painful than you can ever imagine, possibly because you traded their father for someone who wasn't capable of loving them as their actual father was. This is the guarantee that we make to you, and we love you for considering our words. Thank you so much. So I feel sad, feel sad. Listen, I want to tell you that yesterday on YouTube, the it became so spiritual. It was a very, very beautiful video. If any of you can watch it, Lee, how would they find it?
They could go to YouTube and search Lisa Logan. Lisa, Lisa, that's Lima, Igloo, Sierra, Alpha, space,
Okay.
and the last name, Logan, which L, Lima, Oscar, Golf,
What
Alpha, November.
are you doing?
And just
Are
Google, just search for
you
that,
doing this?
Lisa space Logan,
But there's lots of Lisa
but you
Logans
will
on there.
find
Go ahead.
Forsaken Parents Today, and I believe that was number 5. Forsaken Parents Today 5, and that will be the program
What do we call
for
it?
the spiritual. Let me look.
It was about
Right
spiritual. You guys, it was beautiful.
after I take notes and write it down, that's it. I'm looking at your video right now, and I'm trying to scroll down. The spiritual meaning of what estranged parents are going through.
Yeah, okay. So you can you don't have to look all that up. Just look up Lisa Logan and whatever she said today. Oh, yeah, because we're talking about forsaken
Right.
parents today. That's right. Um, okay. Oh, I'm forgetting, you have a note that someone
Well,
wrote to
I'm hoping
Tony.
everybody remembers who Tony was. We discussed him yesterday, and
Can you read his second note to us, or
it
was
was
it just
just
one that he
one. And
wrote?
let me find it.
Okay. Could you read it? That would be good, and then they'd know what this person who wrote to him is
That is,
talking about.
I know.
Sorry, babe.
Let me try to find it. Meanwhile, you need to be talking about something while I'm trying
Sorry,
to find
audience.
this.
Okay. I don't mind being quiet. Anyway, it was beautiful yesterday. I haven't stopped thinking it all day long. One of the things I think that I talked about, and that I don't think I've shared it with you, is that I have been out of my body on the other side twice. Once was, the first time was about 45 years ago. I know you think I'm very young. And that's when my daughter was 3, so it was about 47 years ago. And let's see, and the second time was about 15 years ago. But one of the things, and I don't know if I said this yesterday, so that's why it's bothering me. While I was out of my body, I want you to know that it was total bliss. We what we are doing here is so um no, that is so superior, so wonderful, so loving. It was total bliss. And what I was an oval of light. That's what I called it. An oval of light in the universe connected to other ovals of light. We made a large circle and we were connected to each other by beams of light. We know everything over there. Our intelligence is beyond. And our job, myself and the others, excuse me, as a oval of light, is to help God uh, with the spiritual things that people need to learn here. Now, the thing that was amazing was I had never ever experienced or heard about ovals of light. That's my word for it. But about 3 or 4 years later, a doctor, cardiologist. Do you remember his name? He's a
Okay,
best-selling. He wrote Life After Life.
that I will
I'm
find it.
sorry. Oh, okay. Anyway, uh, gosh, I know his name so easily. But he was writing near death experiences that his patients and other doctors' patients were having. And a common thread, if it came up, many of the people who had near death experiences and then returned to their bodies were asked by what he called a being of light that stood in front of him, or the people who were having the out of body near death experiences. My 2 experiences have not been near death. Both of them have been out of body experiences. But he
Raymond,
wrote um,
doctor?
about
That's it,
people who he
right?
talked to. Raymond Moody, right? Raymond Moody, Dr. Raymond Moody. I already
I
said
know.
it. As soon as you said Raymond, I went, yes. And he's got several books out now. But anyway, he talked about, and certainly I'd never talked to him, and I had already experienced myself being a being of light. That's what I call an oval of light, excuse me. I was an oval of light in my out of body experience several years before. But while I was there, I thought, oh, this is so wonderful. I don't want to go back to my body. It really is the other side, folks. You have no idea, but you will when you die, when it's your time to go to the other side. I promise you, it's not bad. Oh gosh, Lee. Oh gosh, you remember that? Oh, and the thing was, I'm going from one to another. Wait a minute. And while I was out there, I thought, I don't want to go back to my body. This is how this started yesterday. I don't want to go back to my body. I don't want to go back to Earth. I want to stay on this plane. And then I went, no, wait, I have the daughter. She's 3 years old. I want my daughter to become who I want her to be. I'm going back. I have to. I love her and I need to finish raising her. And then when my daughter and I were so close all of her life, and then after she married and they got pregnant and they were having their first child, that was when she began to turn on me and kind of push me out of the family. And I talked about it yesterday, and I'd like for you to watch that video if you can. One of the videos, Lee, that I'd really like to show, and it isn't ours, but is where James Caviezel is the man, the actor who portrayed Jesus in The Passion of Christ. And for those of you who remember it, Mel Gibson was the director, probably in the producer. And that movie, I wasn't going to go see that
Yes.
movie.
Yes.
Oh, remember? Do any of you remember Tammy Faye Baker? I wasn't asking you. I
Thanks.
know you remember her. I'm playing with you. Good. That's good, Lee. Well, Tammy was dying, and precious Tammy, and she was very thin and gaunt, and she was dying. I think cancer of the liver or something, and she was on Larry King's program. I don't see. We're going out to the world with all of you, so that was a program where Larry interviewed people all the time. So he said, Tammy, you're sick, honey. Why have you come here? How many years ago? Well, however many years ago, the Passion of Christ was on. That's when it was. He said, why are you here? And Tammy said, because if I'm going to be in the tabloids where they talk about the fact that I'm dying, and I want everyone to know it from me, to hear what I have and what my experience is like. And she said, Larry, I don't want to die. I want to stay here with my family. But it's time for me to go. I know that it is. And so I want people to
Wow.
know that I'm accepting my life, the fact that I'm dying, and that I'm okay. I'm going to go home. Beautiful. And then he said, through their
I have.
conversation, he said,
Go ahead.
you haven't seen Passion of the Christ, have you? And she said, Lee can't help herself. That was not Tammy Faye Baker. That was Lee. Yes. And Tammy said, yes, I've seen it 3 times. And he said, why would you do that? And she said, because if he experienced that, I need to be there with him. Oh, so I wasn't going to go see it because I thought I'm just going to cry. I don't want to see it, which is exactly what Larry King was thinking. Who wants to see it? But when Tammy said that, the next morning I was at the first showing,
I
which was at 10 o'clock
I
in the
think I bought
morning.
the DVD.
Where did you do? What did you do, Lee?
Yes.
So you saw it after it had been out. I own DVD. I own the tape of it. And I have lots of copies now. I watch that movie at least once a year. It's so meaningful. But let me tell you, um, it's so beautiful. And James Caviezel, who's the actor who portrayed Jesus, is a very devoted Catholic man. He and his wife both are very devoted. And what he did every time he knew he was going to be portraying Christ, he had a Catholic
Communion?
priest
Okay,
come
communion?
and give him the Holy Eucharist. What is that called in another church, Lee? I'm just forgetting. Communion. Yeah, which
The
is communion,
Eucharist.
but the uh, the Catholics call it, I think, Holy Holy
I'm
Communion
right
or
here.
whatever I said.
I'm thinking in my brain. I think they call it
I
the
think
Lord's
I could
Supper.
be wrong. Where are you when I
They don't
need you
call
to
it
look things up? I'm just playing.
I think it's the Eucharist. Yes.
No, no, they don't. I think they call it Holy Eucharist. But I'll ask my priest when I go, guys. I'm in a class now where I'm watching their videos and I'm learning more about the Catholic religion, and I'm going to become Catholic. And I always promised myself that if God ever wanted me to be back in a church, I would. And I've been feeling led to go to this church. It's a wonderful Catholic church. It's a wonderful church, and learn about it. And so right now I have 3 classes. So, and I think I have about 20 to go. It's okay. And I enjoy myself. Okay. But in the movie, the Passion of the Christ is a part where Jesus is suffering terribly as he's walking down what we call the Avenue of Tears, the Via della Rosa. Ah, and he's carrying his cross. He's being spat on. He's being beaten. And Mary, his mother, is standing off to the side watching. I'm going to cry, you guys, but it's okay. Is standing off to the side watching him, and she hurts so much for his pain. And all of a sudden she remembers when he was a little boy, just a child, and he'd fallen down. And she ran to him and she picked him up and she kissed him, and she was able to comfort him. And in the church that I was raised in, we never paid too much attention to Mary, the mother of Jesus, and we were certainly told never to pray to her. Well, when I saw that, I thought, oh, she was a real mother, and she loved her son. And I thought, I loved my daughter. I understand. It was the first time I ever felt close to Mary. What a beautiful woman. So my life changed then. And
Oh, yes. My gosh, I was so
oh
interested in
well.
what you were saying that.
Do I
Oh,
have to go
yes,
now?
it's time. It's
Is it
time.
time? Yeah. And I've got tears in my eyes. But I want you to know that I love Mary.
Okay.
And I'm not Catholic yet, but I probably will. But because I didn't know, and the Rosary, I just want to share this, Lee. The
Yes.
Rosary
Yes.
talked about death, and it kind of every time I would say their Rosary, because I was on the road and I was listening to Catholic radio station. Oh, okay, Lee knows that too. She wants you to know that she knows that. That's cute. And Mother Angelica would say the rosary, but every time she'd talk about, because the end line of the saying the rosary is death. So I was uncomfortable, and I thought, but I'm not Catholic. I can make my own words up. So I did,
Go
and I'd
ahead.
like to say them
Yes.
for you now, and then we'll stop. But I'm not encouraging you to say these words. I just like to share this with you. Is that okay with you, Lee? Okay. The first 2 words are in Aramaic, and in fact, through the Passion of Christ, Jesus spoke in Aramaic, as did Mary, but they're shown in English as well. So, Amma, Ammi, that means mother, my mother, filled with grace. Avun, O thou from whom the breath of life flows, is with thee. Blessed art thou among all women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, thy perfect Son, Yeshua, Jesus, Joshua the Christ. Holy Amma, perfect example of love for us, please help me become more loving, forgiving, and compassionate. And please help men and women and children all over the world come to know the perfect peace of Abun, God our Father. Amen. Amen.
Yes, and that's so
So
beautiful.
thank you for letting me share this with you
I said it
today.
was so beautiful.
It feels good, Lee. It feels good. It felt, it was, what did you say, honey? Thank you. Thank you. Gosh, Lee. Okay. I love Lee. I'm so glad that I get to do this with her. I used to do it all by myself. It's so wonderful to have her here too. Just, it's a gift. God has done this for us. So, okay. Love you all. And Lee is going to tell you who to write to. Let us know if we
Yes.
were
And
just
so make
to
sure to write to
turn the
us. The email
podcast
is
off.
its
Would we
always
lose you if
about
we don't
love,
want
the
to?
number
If
one
that's
at
true, we'll just keep on
gmail.com.
going.
We will be back tomorrow. So until then, remember, it's always about love, and we love you.
We And Lee, I'm sorry that I was
I
making
think
fun of you
love you
when you
too.
were saying Alpha Bravo, all those things. I thought you were a show
Thank you.
off right
Bye
then.
bye.
Love you, Lee, and love the rest of you so much. Thank you for being here with us. Bye bye.